All right, today's project is going to be to get a 38-gallon fuel tank in the back of this thing. So let's go in the garage and take a look at it. Old tank, new tank. Old tank, new tank. Old tank, new tank. This thing's huge. I have to measure it. I think it's about twice as deep, although it is the same width and length. Designed to fit up into the frame rail, use the same straps, everything. But there is a couple things we have to modify, and one of them is going to be that sending unit, because obviously the pickup tube is not going to go to the bottom, and the float is not going to reach the bottom either. So I'm going to pull the sending unit out. We're going to take a look at it and see what all is involved in modifying it to get it to work with the deeper tank. If we measure down the vent hole, this tank is exactly 6 inches deeper than that one, which means all we should have to do is pull this off, extend this down 6 inches, and put this back on the end. So that doesn't sound too hard to do. This looks like 3/8 tubing. I'm going to measure it momentarily, and then we'll rummage through the steel rack and see what kind of material we can find. See if we have something already that we can use to extend this, or if we got to go pick something up. So this is 3/8 inch tubing, which it just so happens that I have plenty of in stainless, so that's cool. The return line is 5/16. I don't have any 5/16, so I'm going to have to run out and get some of that. So I'm going to do that right now, go see what I can find, and then when I come back, we will splice these lines and get it extended. So this thing comes in a bag of goodies. We got pipes and new hardware for extending our clamps. It comes with tubing of the incorrect size, some extensions for wires and scotch locks and other horrible stuff. So this is designed for a gasoline powered vehicle, not a diesel powered vehicle, which is why it comes with, what is that, 3/8 and half, maybe 7/16. This is for extending your fuel tank, or fuel pump on your hanger, which we don't have, of course, because we're diesel, so not of a whole lot of use to us. So, but it does come with hardware to hang the tank, which is kind of nice. I don't know if we're going to use it, but it's there. It got a little coupling stuck on there for, I'm going to take a wild guess. Yep. Okay. But anyways, it doesn't come with any 5/16. So we do still have to go to the yard and see what we can find. I suppose you could use this for extending your actual pickup, but I already have stainless. I'm not going to use copper. So yeah. Anyways, off to the yard, see if we can find some 5/16. All right, we're back from the scrap yard. You can see I did find some stainless 5/16. I got a piece it's like 15 foot long or something. It's pretty big. It was a whopping $4.24 for the whole thing. So I guess I'm going to have enough for plenty of future projects. So plan is we're going to take this off. We are going to use a swedge lock with another piece of stainless tubing. That will get me my 6-inch drop for this. And then we're going to do the same thing, 5/16 swedge lock with some stainless tubing. Pull this off, put that on, make sure it doesn't strike the bottom of the tank. When we put it in, we'll just look down through the hole for the vent. The only other thing we have to do then is we got to mess with this float. So, you know, seems like common sense, but on empty, float has to be basically all but touching the bottom of the tank, and then when it's full, it will be, should be about that angle, all but touching the top of the tank. So really close. So I actually have a level sending unit off of a Ford Bronco, which we're going to look at. I don't know that the arm's going to be long enough, but I already have one, so we'll pull it out, we'll mock it up, we'll see how that looks. And if it doesn't look like it's going to have the right swing, then maybe we'll make our own arm or something. I don't know. Let me get these extended though, and then we'll sort that one out. Okay, this is all extended, ready to go. Looking at my extension for the fuel return. I'm not thrilled with that. I mean, I guess that's not terrible. It'll spray, but I'm not. I think we can do it better. I think we can make it a little nicer. So I'm going to tinker for a little bit and see if I can come up with something that does look a little bit nicer. So we made a minor adjustment here. I know nobody will ever see it, but I just think that looks nicer. But one of the things I'm noticing is with everything extended this long, there's a lot of leverage on the hanger up here, and even if I just flick the float, watch the sending unit bounce. It moves it moves a lot. I know it's going to be submerged in fuel most of the time, and that's going to dampen some of the vibrations, but I still wasn't thrilled with it. So what I did was I grabbed some scrap and I just made this little crossbar here, and it fits a little snug, but that's kind of intentional. Like, and now of course it's not going to slide on at all. Okay, let me shut the camera down. Wait, let me just try this way. There it is. Okay, yeah, see, that's way better. That's way better. So I made that, and the plan is when this is installed, this can honestly just lay here, it's fine. But now, you know, much less vibration and no concern about the return possibly bumping into that swedge lock there, like it's locked in pretty tight. So, you know, probably not necessary, but I made it anyway, just for peace of mind. So I think that is going to do for that. Now we just have to move on to getting this float arm sorted. So sending unit modifications are all done. This is extended. We put a nice bend in here so this doesn't look so dumb. I made a brace because this shook a lot and I didn't like it. And then of course we have our Bronco float arm. Just, you know, I changed the shape of it a little bit to get it to the right place, full or empty. So that's done. That's ready to go in the tank. Unfortunately, the tank is like oily or something. There's some kind of waxy, oily stuff that they go to the tank with. Unfortunately, they got some in the tank too. So I've got some kerosene in there right now. I'm kind of sloshing it around. So I'm going to just get the tank clean. We're going to get it primed and painted. I'll drop the sending unit in, and then hopefully when we come back, we'll be fitting this thing up into the frame rails. All right, tank is complete. Let's get this thing installed. All right, this is the rough draft. Tank is in the frame rail, but it's just sitting on my floor jack right now. I got to put the lower straps in. First impressions are that it fits in the frame rail really well. Even with the 4-inch exhaust in there, I didn't have to do anything. It just fit up in the truck, so that's cool. So I'm gonna go grab the new extended hardware and get the lower straps set in place before this tank falls, and we'll see what we got. All right, just like that, tank is installed. It actually fits in here like really good. Like, it is using every square inch of available space. It actually doesn't hang down all that much either. Like, you see, it's not, I mean, obviously it's more the frame rail, but even like the leaf springs, like it's tucked up there pretty high, especially when you compare it to, like, if you look at the 32-gallon tank in a Ford Bronco, like these things hang way down. So, you know, by comparison, like, this is actually pretty nice. Like, better ground clearance, bigger tank. I don't really see any drawbacks, so I'm calling this one a win. And unfortunately, though, we do have a little more work we're gonna have to do here. This one's unique to me because, you know, I can't just have a normal truck bed. So because the filler neck comes over the frame rail, and because this sits on the frame rail, I am going to have to do something here. I don't know what yet. I'm gonna put the bed down. We're gonna take some measurements. I'll bring the filler neck out here and see exactly what I have to do so I can make some room to get the neck through, and then we'll build some kind of hanger that'll bolt to the frame, come up over the springs, you know, to hold the filler neck up in place, since obviously we can't go to the bed. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna put it down and go get the neck, and we'll see like what we're up against here. Now we got a little bit of room there, so maybe we can get away with doing something small. I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out. It's been a minute since the last clip. It's actually wintertime now. There's snow on the ground, so that's been fun dealing with. But we have made plenty of progress here. As you can see, I have my filler neck completely done now. We have a notch in the frame done. If we put the bed up, you can see here I have all my lights are all wired up all the way down to the back. Connects to the truck's original wiring harness. Completely plug in, no cut wires or anything. Everything works like it's supposed to. I have this panel here that I made, just something simple for like license plate, reverse lights, my trailer plug. I don't really know what I want to do yet, so I figured this is at least like a temporary solution, so I can see you know, where do I want my lights? Do I want more lights, etc.? It's just a baseline to see what I'm after here. So I do have a couple other things I have to do before I can truly call the swap complete. Most importantly is this. My muffler broke. So I'm gonna lay down here in a little bit and kind of cobble this thing together so I can at least have an exhaust system good enough to drive to the exhaust shop. And I'm just gonna get the whole system replaced because it's pretty old at this point. So I think this is pretty much where we're gonna call it for this one. Like I said, this basically finishes the swap, and me laying on the ground fiddling with an old exhaust system is not exactly super fun to watch anyway. So I'm gonna button that up, get this done, get her on the road, and then after the exhaust is fixed, we're gonna come back in and put the bed back up in the air, and we are going to reinstall the water methanol injection system on this truck. So, you know, if you're interested in seeing that, stick around because it's pretty cool. So, you know, thanks for watching. Bet you didn't think that would fit in there, did ya? I don't know about you, but I miss the good old days when diesel fuel was actually affordable.